South Mountain Arena here in West Orange, New Jersey, where tonight Top Rank Incorporated and the King of Beers, Budweiser, presents professional boxing for your entertainment. These bouts are sanctioned by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board, Boxing Commissioner Larry Hazard Sr., Deputy Commissioner Lawrence Wallace, and the Chairman is Jerry Gormley. The three judges tonight will be Eugene Grant, Eva Shane, and John Riley. Positions at ringside, Dr. Earl Shaw, Thomas Ortiz, Dr. Thomas Ortiz, and Dr. Paul Williams. The timekeeper for all the bouts is Lindsey Tucker, and the two referees with the alternate counting for the knockdown seconds will be Tony Orlando and Paul Venti. And now, ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 6 rounds, and it's in the heavyweight division. The referee for this bout is Tony Orlando. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he's wearing the black trunks with gold trim and weighs an even 233 pounds from the Motor City, Detroit, Michigan. As a professional, 8 victories with 2 KOs against 6 defeats and 1 draw. Ladies and gentlemen, Lorenzo Canady. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, he's wearing the red, white, and blue colors and weighed in at an even 211 pounds from Kansas City. Undefeated as a professional, 19-0, 17 KOs. Ladies and gentlemen, Tommy the Duke Morrison.
Gentlemen, you received your instructions. Therefore, you have any questions? I want a good, clean fight. First class, go back to your corner.
So now it is the business at hand, and the business at hand right at the moment is the boxing match, despite all the celebrity all around this man. And in the other corner, Lorenzo Canady, who's mentioned, has got to feel awful lonely here.
He's wondering what the heck is going on. Of course, all the hoopla around Morrison, and just before we came to you, Stallone and Burt Young were reenacting what would be, for their movie anyway, the scene in the middle of the ring where they get the instructions, and then they left, and the real people came in. That's the real boxing people.
Should Tommy Morrison win this fight, as I'm sure they have scripted, and most people here figure will happen, they will be back in the ring again for the joyous occasion of Tommy Gunn or Tommy Morrison. Left hand started Canady off.
Morrison has, of course, a terrific left hook. We've chronicled that in his appearances here on ESPN. He's been working on other parts of his arsenal. We've seen him use the jab and the uppercut and the straight right hand. One thing you have to say about Tommy is he's improved every single outing.
Now, he says he wants to get a little quicker, wants to throw a little more punches, stay a little busier, and just generally get a little bit quicker. Canady, incidentally, has been in there against the best in the heavyweight division. He fought Mike Tyson. I asked him how that fight was. He said, I don't know, it wasn't there long.
It was fast.
Knocked him out in the first round, did Tyson. He also fought Riddick Bowe. He also fought Alex Stewart. So he's been in there against some good ones.
Lost to Willie DeWitt, so he is your basic trial horse type at this point in his career.
Said he wanted to try to wait for Morrison. Assumably that means he won't have to wait too long. There's that left hand of Morrison.
You always wonder about, and you talked to Morrison about it earlier today, the distraction of all the stuff going on. Can it affect your performance in the ring? He's not in there against the top heavyweight, but still, the man who's punching back.
Right hand.
Right now, it doesn't seem to be. Morrison is really focused.
He said, no, it wouldn't bother me at all. Another right hand. Pretty good shot by Morrison, but Canady stays there. He said he thought about being an actor at some point, but he figured it wouldn't come for 5 or 6 years, and here he is, 20 years old, and he's going to be in Rocky VI.
It's a brilliant strategic ploy by Bill Caton, his manager, to get him all that attention, and if he continues to develop as a boxer, it'll put him in a much stronger position. But the boxing, of course, is important because he's got to keep getting better and being in a position to beat these top people. And of course, they're talking about him facing Jim Portillis on the undercard of Duran Leonard.
The time span for him, unlike that of Ray Mercer, who we'll see later tonight, is much more relaxed. About 2 years, they say, the mouthpiece flew out of Morrison's mouth, and they will stop the fight to put the mouthpiece back. It was Canady's mouthpiece, I beg your pardon. So it appears that Lorenzo Canady will do something that not too many opponents of Tommy Morrison have been able to do, and that is get through the first round.
A moral victory at least.
To Kennedy's credit, he's not running. He's staying there and fighting Morrison. Canady has done just that. So it wasn't much of a problem for Tommy Morrison, but unusual for him. He didn't get his man out of there in the first round. He's fought 17 times this year, incidentally, and a total of 36 rounds. So that'll give you an idea how long his opponents have lasted.
And I'll tell you, we saw him on October 17th against Terry Terrell. He came back and fought October 26th again against Charles Hostetter in Kansas City, knocked him out in one round.
A little busier on the inside, okay?
Here's the left hook by Morrison. And just missed right on the nose, but kind of clipped the side of the nose. If that had been a little longer, that punch, who knows what would have happened. Missed him by a nose, I guess we could say. I didn't say that.
Oh, that was all right. Don't apologize for those.
I don't know.
Terrific humor.
Oh, really? That's only one man's opinion, though, and I'm not even sure it's yours.
And what does he know?
Come on, man.
So round number 2 now.
Keep first, keep first. Keep first.
Trying to do what he does, and that is dispatch opponents in quick order. Morrison, as we look at our punch profile, not as busy in the first round as Canady.
Overhand right.
But obviously landing more effectively. And
1, 2.
that's one thing in a way you like about Tommy Morrison. Not a lot of wasted punches. He's been very methodical in the times we've seen him box.
Right hand, and Canady started to go, but stayed right there. Body shots have been a very effective weapon, incidentally, for Tommy Morrison. When he beat Mike Robinson in Atlantic City, he did so largely with body shots.
There is a cut. Yeah, underneath the eye of Tommy Morrison.
Not in a place where it would give him any trouble, but it just popped open, and I think it was that right hand, that straight right hand, a moment ago that did it.
Canady has found a home for that right hand.
And the farther Morrison lets Canady into this fight, the more Canady will think, maybe I can beat this guy.
Watch out, Tommy, watch out! Punch him out, punch him! Straight! Run away, run away!
Yeah, an interesting thought. Is Lorenzo Canady the real Rocky here looking to go the distance?
That's probably it. Morrison doesn't win the fight, Canady gets the part.
Could be a lot at stake for Tommy Morrison here.
Unfortunate thing here for Canady is I'm sure this is not a huge payday for him, and he's going to have to use it to join SAG.
Watch his head, Tom, watch his head.
He'll take most of his pay away. Good point. Such a businessman, Barry.
SAG, of course, the Screen Actors Guild, I will say that. There's a left hand, but Canady's still there.
Tommy Morrison's left hook tonight is much wider than it's been lately. We've talked before about how it's been a shorter punch. Tonight it is wider and not as effective and not doing as well.
And still a little bit of blood from below the eye of Tommy Morrison. It isn't the type of cut that you would think would cause him a great deal of problem, because obviously the blood is not going to get into the eye, the cut being below it on the cheek.
And not something they would think probably about stopping the boxing because of. Tony Orlando, who's a very fine referee, warning Canady about the holding.
Canady getting that left hand in on that cut. You can really see Canady's confidence start to swell a little bit here. And we come to the end of the second round. Who'd have thunk it?
Cut happened. Boom, they hit heads, and yeah, I'd say that's a pretty good bet.
No question about it. We thought it was a straight right hand thrown by Canady, but it was a headbutt.
Clash of heads between those two as they came together. And you always wonder what impact does it have with a boxer when he gets cut. Some have come completely unglued. Doesn't look like that is happening to Morrison. And certainly it's not a cut that's in a bad spot for him.
I don't think toughness, as we look at the punch profile in round 2, is any kind of a problem for Tommy Morrison. He was fighting in tough guy contests when he was 13 years old and won the Oklahoma State tough guy contest at 14. He had a lie about his age.
Yeah, he is a tough guy, and I doubt that it will have any impact on him.
As tough as he is, that's how nice he is. Very pleasant.
Yeah, he really is.
Right hand.
He has a very good sense of himself, too. He doesn't feel he knows everything right now. He readily admits there are things he has to learn, and as you mentioned, he's on a 2-year timetable to Mike Tyson. And again, the mouthpiece of Canady has come out. Tony Orlando might be saying, bite down. Morrison getting a little frustrated, I think. He's kind of lunging at Canady a little bit, not setting down on his punches like he usually does.
Yeah, there you have how I scored the first 2 rounds for Morrison. Thought he won those rather convincingly.
And again, a little bit of a clash of heads.
And Canady did go 4 rounds with Alex Stewart. And he went a couple with Rick Bowe.
Body shot by Morrison there.
So he can hang in there. 4 with Willie DeWitt. Knocked out by Tyson in 1, but then that's not too shocking.
Yeah, no.
A lot of people have had that fate. People even looking for world championships.
Canady works for the city of Detroit. And he said, very candidly when we asked him this morning, that this is a job. He's not a guy who's thinking, I'm going to be a champion of the world. And he has an 8-6 record, but the record is a little bit deceiving because we mentioned 4 of those 6 losses against some pretty good competitors.
Yeah, when Lorenzo faces the run-of-the-mill heavyweights, he's been able to beat him. Like, for instance, he beat Tracy Thomas. This split decision, that was the guy that lost to Mercer a couple of fights ago.
Canady got a right hand in just a moment ago. That wasn't a bad shot at all, and Morrison misses a pair.
This effort by Tommy Morrison tonight is less precise than previous efforts.
We just have to think, and I'm not making excuses for him, but you have to think he was distracted. I know we talked to John Brown, who came over here a little while ago. He's one of the men in Morrison's corner. And he said, boy, it wasn't that long ago. We were in Great Falls, Montana, and it was me and Tommy Morrison. And now Bill Caton's there. There were 25 people from the movie industry, as we mentioned, in his locker room. Things are getting tougher, if only by a matter of numbers, and a right hand by Canady at the bell. We'll be back.
And he takes a right hand, so you can see that he is taking some punches that he hasn't taken in recent fights. And there's a good left hook by Canady in what was Canady's best round of the bout, a very, very close round.
So Tommy Morrison, while he doesn't appear to be in any great danger of losing this fight, is really getting all he wants here from Lorenzo Canady. And again, you just have to think that he might be a little distracted. And I don't mean to take anything away from Canady. But Morrison is wilder than we've seen him. Not setting down on his punches as we've seen him do. He's missing a lot.
Not throwing as many combinations. Good indication there of how that round went. Canady throwing more and landing exactly the same amount as Tommy Morrison.
Right hand by Canady.
Morrison is getting off slower. There's no question about that in the recent fights. His jab is a pawing jab. It's not as stiff as it has been in other fights. Wide left hook by Morrison. That punch not as we said, is short. I made the last round even. So I have got Morrison ahead by 2 points.
There's another case that Morrison got Canady in the corner and then missed him.
Canady, though, is fighting this like he's a sparring partner, honestly. He needs to go after it right now. He knows he's got a guy there who isn't fighting as well as he can fight. He's got to be throwing more. I think Canady should be throwing a few more punches, trying to counter him a little bit more. Like that. Good body shot by Canady underneath.
Canady clearly getting the better of it right at the moment.
He's having a good 4th round.
Another right hand.
And Tommy's missing a lot. And Lorenzo is covering up extremely well and countering.
Yeah, counter left hand right there.
The plot is definitely thickening here, I'll tell you. A little uppercut on the inside by Canady. That punch Morrison's been using.
You can really sense Canady's confidence growing with every round here. He may run out of rounds, but he seems seems right at the moment to be a little more willing to do, as you mentioned, to stand there and punch with it.
If he wins this one, he could be back in the hunt. He threw that right hand with conviction. That was really important. Even in missing it, he threw that punch with a lot of conviction, and that's what he's going to need to do. He's got Morrison lunging now with that left hook. He's got him thinking, I'm frustrated. I've got to go after this guy and hit him with one punch.
And he himself is coming over the top with his right hand. So if he does happen to catch Morrison lunging, that's the right punch.
This is real life.
That's right, not the movies. And in this case, Art not following the light.
Look, and he misses with the hook. He misses with the right hand, and Canady just narrowly missed with the counter that he threw right after that. He was in position to hit Morrison.
Yeah, Morrison really starting to show a little bit of frustration here.
Morrison has been 6 once before in his career, beating Aaron Brown in Kansas City back in July of this year. Wasn't he a great defensive end with the Kansas City Chiefs? Aaron Brown, not this Aaron Brown. Interesting. Canady landing about 3 more than Morrison, and Tommy not throwing too often.
Canady right now looking to counter back to the ropes, hoping to catch Morrison lunging in. Now he's covering up.
Covering up rather well.
And your card.
Very close, Morrison by 1 point. And remember that 3rd round, which was very close. If that one had gone to Canady, then this could be an even fight.
6-round fight, remember. Canady says he's known about this fight for a while, so I asked him what kind of shape he was in. He said fair, and that was a very honest answer. Right now, he doesn't seem to be losing too much.
Now, you can see that he's a little wide in the middle there, but he's not falling apart right now. He's not still throwing.
This round, both men leaning on each other a little bit more.
Well, tonight was a night when we thought we might see a little bit more of what Ray Mercer's about. Good uppercut on the inside by Canady because Jones beat Michael Bent. What about TommyMorrison? Are we finding out a little bit of where he is at?
I think he might, and he's really found a home for that uppercut.
You know what's ironic? I would have expected Harry Terrell, who granted is old for a fighter, but has a little more experience. I would have expected him to test Morrison more than this guy.
Big right hand by Morrison might have been his best punch of the fight there, and that may have slowed Canady.
It did, yeah.
But Canady looks on unsteady legs right as we speak. That comes back firing.
Very important sequence for Canady. He's going after Morrison.
That uppercut is really there for Canady. He has scored with that punch a half a dozen times in this round alone. There it is again.
Boy, that 20 seconds for Lorenzo Canady was vital. Morrison looked like he was ready to take control of this fight completely.
And now you have to wonder here again, how do the judges look at this? Do they look at that one punch by Morrison and say that was enough? Because Canady really has done more in the rest of the round.
Probably has.
Good, good.
And Lorenzo Canady, when TommyMorrison looks across the ring, is still there.
They've got to feel some confidence here.
He's throwing everything at you. Bounced him off his chest into his chin as an uppercut and then hit him with the hook. Don't be afraid to throw the punches. The last hand, let them go. He's there.
Where did he go?
Come on. Just
This is tired of you, man.
more.
Punch!
Come on.
Punch! You ain't got nothing to lose. You got everything to gain here.
All right. Come on.
Punch!
What you want me to do?
I want you to
Here is the right hand that Morrison landed. Right to the chin of Lorenzo Canady, and it stunned him. Was followed up later by yet another right hand. But here, Canady with the uppercut, I think he's going to land a jab, and then there was a straight right hand in there also. That sequence important for Canady.
And this now the 6th and final round, and TommyMorrison bit off a lot tonight.
I don't know if the judges are seeing this as close as I am, but I think it's a very close bout.
Very hard fight, to be honest, for Lorenzo Canady to win.
Oh, yeah.
Because again, it's another situation, as you look at our punch profile through the first 5 rounds, another situation where you have a tendency to watch Tommy Morrison and not watch his opponent.
And you can see the numbers favoring Morrison a little bit here now. Probably because those first 2 rounds, remember, he won by bigger margins. Well, people might be surprised to see this, but I think it's a dead even fight. I gave Canady the last round by the narrowest of margins. Canady has run his round by smaller margins than Morrison has, but still, I think he's right in there.
Morrison leaning on Canady a lot here.
But don't necessarily expect this to end up being a draw or a win for Canady.
No.
But he's acquitted himself quite well, and you can make a strong case for Tommy Morrison being ahead in this fight.
Oh, yeah.
But what you can't make a strong case for is the fact that Tommy Morrison came in here ready and focused for this fight. He did not.
Canady going to the body, coming back with the right hand, and now he covers up as Morrison counters.
He wiggled him with that right hand.
Break it up, bro. Pressure, man. 1 minute, 1 minute. Come on, 2 hands, punch out. Nice right. Punch it out. Step back.
Canady has found a home to that uppercut during much of this bout, but the crowd getting on the fighters a little bit. Maybe they're getting on Morrison a little bit for not being able to finish.
Morrison is leaning on Canady now. Canady, a tired fighter also.
See, I think, yes, Tommy Morrison, if he would jab his way in, when he uses his jab, it's a very effective weapon. When he just tries to throw the big left hook or the overhand right, coming in, he is less effective.
Morrison fighting this by backing up, but he's doing a lot of his best work, either coming off the ropes or with his back to the ropes. Right hand by Canady. Another headbutt.
Good body shot in there by Morrison. He hasn't done as much of that as he would like. With that wide girth of Canady, you think you'd want to work on that a little bit. See, Morrison coming in with that right hand. Got to jab your way in.
I think you could really start to develop that habit, putting people away as easily as Tommy Morrison had coming into this fight. The crowd doesn't really like it too much. You have the feeling that Morrison probably did enough.
Well, when that man scripts it, you know it's going to be a win for Tommy Morrison. But what about in real life? What do the judges have to say about it?
Now, that remains to be seen. Now, I'm sure, though, for movie purposes, that cut into Morrison's eye is probably a lot more effective.
It probably is. You don't think they scripted that, do you?
No.
Anyway, as you look at them get ready for the fictional part of this, in nonfiction, that man, Lorenzo Canady, had his moments. And I'll tell you, had he had a little more sting in that right hand and some of those uppercuts, he might have been able to get to Tommy Morrison a little bit. And for Tommy, he knows that this was an effort in which he wasn't as focused as he would like to be, didn't put his punches together as much as he would like. And we look at Canady working underneath, the uppercut landing, body shot off the arm. But look, you see, not everything landing, but enough there is landing to show that Canady was right there in this fight. And I have to say, I ultimately ended up giving it to Morrison by 1 point. But could be close.
Well, we'll see how close it is. Let's go right now to Michael Buffer, who has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's the official scoring. John Riley and Eugene Grant both scored about 60-54. Eva Shane has it 59-55 for the winner by unanimous decision. Still undefeated, Tommy Morrison.
Gosh, I guess I saw it differently than the judges, eh?
Now there's an upset. Tommy Morrison wins the fight, and we thought...